there are two parts. There are two major parts to me being like, oh man, I gotta stop this for a little bit. Half of it is anger and disagreements with the company, and then half is my own issues that I recognize are like my fault. Yeah, so there's two parts. I guess I'll get into the second part. The other piece of why I had the piece, the part that I did to myself, is gonna be stuff that deadbeats don't want to hear. I need to give the disclaimer to the deadbeats again that I do have confidence and I like myself, I do, and I think I have strong points, and I think I also have weak points. I think I have weak points. You overworked yourself? It's like a much more nuanced version of that. But I'm gonna take this moment, and I know maybe some deadbeats won't like it, and maybe will say like, oh, don't feel that way, or like, you don't need to tell us this kind of stuff and whatnot. But I feel like I'm gonna have a moment of, I'm just gonna be real honest with the deadbeats. Maybe not like in like an oversharing way, but just real candid with y'all. It's okay if you are not happy about it. But so the truth of the matter is, I think I've been lying to you guys, but also myself. Not specifically to you guys, but also myself. Which is, I am pretending that I like to stream more than I actually do. And there's a reason for it. There's a reason. You're not gonna like she lied to me specifically. You use that specific skeleton. I lied to him. No, there's a reason. I am lying to her. I knew it! That deadbeat knew it. She hates us. Not at all. This is not at all the truth. Yeah, and I've been lying to myself. That I'm trying to make myself believe that I enjoyed streaming for longer and more than I actually do. And the reason that I think I've been doing that to myself, it's not these people's fault. And I don't want people to think that I'm being too pressured or whatever. But to be extremely honest with y'all, I think there are a lot of folks who I see their comments that see me as like, as it stands, the face of EN, as it stands right now. Not everybody feels this way, by the way. There's also a lot of people who don't feel this way, but there are a lot of people that do. And because of that, I look at my analytics like really hard, like really intensely, and I don't talk about it out loud because of things like pride and stuff like that, and just, don't let them know that you care about this stuff and whatnot. But when I look at like my own personal number, she's being a number friend, she's a fucking number friend. It's like I look at them and I think to myself, with my own standards, at myself, I think these aren't the numbers of somebody who is the face of something. And I thought the only way that I could fix it was, well, maybe I'm not entertaining enough to I'm not the best streamer in the world, so I can't really bring in a ton of people to watch me. That's fine. I'll make up for it by streaming all the time. The number fiends, here they are. There are some of us who look at these things and we kind of care a little bit about them. It's not the only thing that matters, but I envision 10 years from now and I think about that kind of stuff, and I gotta know if what I'm doing is working or not, and should I change something? I don't know what's gonna happen in the future, etc. Crazy talk. But I look at those analytics and statistics and stuff like that, and I think to myself, well, maybe I can't, I can't push myself beyond what I am. I can't be more than what I am. I think there are things that I'm better at than streaming, so maybe I should just stream a ton so that I can, the watch hours, they'll eventually go to the moon. And even with that aside, it felt like a way for me to make up for it and make up for myself, and also the way that I was when I joined Holo, streaming an hour. Yeah, that's enough. I've clocked in my hour at Holo. I hate that I was that way, I had this huge amazing opportunity and I feel like I just kind of squandered it. And so it was also another way for me to be like, I'm not the me that I was when I started this journey. I can stream for a gazillion hours, etc. Look at me. I have the endurance to do that and whatnot. But I think at the end of the day, it like stresses me out a lot, and I don't really like it very much. I keep pretending I'm lying directly to myself. No, this is good. We can do another 12 tomorrow. You know, like, what the fuck? Why am I doing that to myself? You know? And I guess I felt, it's so stupid, but I thought to myself, sorry, deadbeat, sorry, you know, the person that you see as the face of EN isn't good enough to have kept up the momentum that I had years ago, is like what I was thinking to myself. Which is stupid, because there's also the fact that 5-6 years ago, you had 5 people to choose from. You have 5 streamers, you have 5 VTubers to choose from. Who do you want to watch? This one seems good. All right. Now we're many years down the line, and this industry has grown so much. There's a person out there that will fit the exact thing that you like and the exact like personality that you like, and there's so many wonderful people out there to watch. It's like a really saturated market, and I think it's maturing at this point. You know, there are a lot of other folks that are doing cool stuff out there, and I looked at me not being able to keep all that momentum from years ago, and my first immediate thought was like, yeah, I'm not good enough, I suck. Man, that's so lame that I thought that, but I did. And yeah, so I thought the only way that I can remedy this is if I just stream forever and ever as much as I can. If I'm not recording a song, all right, put in an 8-hour stream. Maybe not 8, more like 6. But you know, I think it's a tough situation for me mentally, who's been trying to like get my confidence up over the years, and I've been doing a pretty good job at it, but I still kind of stumble and fall and whatnot. And so I think it's probably better for me to just not care about those things and just stream as much as I want to, which I think at a certain point I want to do a schedule where it's like 5 days a week for like the same time being like 3 to 4 hours or something like that, you know? So I'm gonna get back up, and I'm gonna get back into it, and I'm not gonna keep lying to myself thinking that I love streaming these long hours. I love streaming every single day as much as possible. You know, I think that would be for the better, and maybe things can't be like they were 5-6 years ago in the beginning of EN, and I think that's all right. I've like kind of come to terms with that over the past 2 weeks, and like talking to friends and like, you know, looking at myself and what I've done. I mean, I make songs for anime. Do I need to have a gajillion streaming hours to be somebody that is, you know, talking to the other girls about it and stuff like that? You know, their advice was to be somebody like the face. It's not like you have to have a gajillion streaming hours or a gajillion watch hours or millions CCV or anything like that. Sometimes what you need to do is just be like a good friend and leader to people that are looking up to you and help them and stuff like that. And I think I want to do stuff like that, you know, and maybe search for my own success in ways that aren't streaming a million hours. You know, I'm glad that they kind of knocked that sense into me. I really appreciate the other girls. They're always there for me to, you know, make me see reason. So I appreciate that very much. And yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do from here on out. So that compounded with the issues I was having with cover behind the scenes, it all just came tumbling down, you know. Yeah, so I will just go ahead and run forward and just, you know, do other stuff that I like doing. And that doesn't mean I'm gonna stop streaming or anything like that. I do enjoy it. I just don't like doing it for a million hours at a time, and I get tired of it, and you know, I start all these long games. And my first stream back is I get to babysit myself. Whoa. That'll be a fun one. Yeah. I wasn't really sure if I was like completely ready to come back to being streaming and active and whatnot, because I still had some personal things to work through and whatnot. But I feel like things have I'm like in a good headspace now where I like have sat down and I like recognize where I'm at and how I feel about like myself and my work, and you know what I want cover to change and fix, and how we can work together to do that. You know, get things on a brighter path. And I did kind of, I felt like I have to come back today, but I'm glad that I did, because I feel like my head's clear now. Things feel like they're looking up, and I think it's been a really dark time in general for Holo. I'm not the only one that feels this way. It's been a dark time, but because there's so many good things on the horizon too, I also feel like if we as a group can stick through it and just be there for each other and support each other, and if our fans are here supporting us and still pushing us forward, if we can just do that for a bit longer, I think a really golden, amazing time is coming up. But it all depends on how things go this year and next year, I feel. You know? Is how I feel about it. So it's a group effort, you know, the talents and the fans all together. If we just, you know, be strong during this kind of darker time, and it's a pretty dark time, I think there's a really great, you know, light at the end of the tunnel. So I don't know. So let's keep on keeping on. Oh yay! And I'm really grateful to all of you guys, like Holo fans that are here at this stream right now, for like not giving up on us, if that makes any sense. Despite all the like dark stuff that's happened and whatnot, and you know, folks leaving and you know, pursuing a path that's better for them and stuff, I'm really grateful that you guys have not lost faith in us. Those of you that are here, thank you. And we'll keep, you know, making it up to you guys by doing what we do. You're stuck with me now, sorry. We'll always be here to support. Thank you so much. Life is complicated. It would be a shame to give up on everything that's good just because of some bad things, right? That is how I feel as well. So I'm gonna be positive, but just know that I have my complaints too. I'm not sitting here just accepting everything. I'm speaking up when things make me angry now, because I want to stay here, and I don't want to give up on Holo either. I really love being here. This is, I mean, as somebody that came in and just like wasn't really sure if I'd like quote unquote fit in or be a good part of it, almost 6 years now. It's just become my life, and not necessarily in like a weird like Stockholm syndrome way or anything like that, but it's just, I don't know, I also accept, you know, it's been really tough, but it's also been some of the best years ever of my life. So I want to see how much further the dream can take us. Yeah, so I'm here. I'm here.